When you look at Earth from space, it is entirely defined by water. The Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic oceans cover more than 70% of the surface of our world. We rely on that continuous stretch of blue to feed billions of people, moderate our weather, and physically float the entire global economy from continent to continent. Then, tomorrow morning, it vanishes. No gradual evaporation, no massive tsunami. Every drop of ocean water simply disappears in an instant. Now, known physics does not provide a natural mechanism for Earth's oceans to simply turn off. But if we temporarily ignore the impossible physics of where that water went, we can explore exactly what happens next. And the immediate horror for humanity wouldn't actually be the missing water. It would be the sudden exposure of a massive, unseen alien landscape that we have lived directly above our entire lives. Standing on a former beach, the view is completely unrecognizable. Familiar coastlines abruptly end, turning into sheer continental cliffs that drop straight down into dark, empty basins. This map shows the topography of the exposed ocean floor. It actually contains sprawling mountain ranges and massive volcanic regions. In the Mariana Trench, you could drop the highest peak on land inside and still wouldn't see the summit. Gravity takes hold immediately. Millions of surface-dwelling animals, from plankton to massive humpback whales, drop directly down into the mud of the exposed seafloor. In shallow coastal waters, complex coral reef systems rely entirely on the buoyancy of seawater for structural support and to deliver nutrients. Stripped of that environment, these vital ecosystems instantly collapse. Even miles down in pitch darkness, unique organisms that evolved to survive off hydrothermal vents and crushing pressure are entirely wiped out in minutes. The foundation of Earth's biosphere is deleted in a single day. But the most dangerous consequences are about to move upward, straight out of the empty ocean basins and into the sky. The ocean is the planet's primary engine for atmospheric moisture. It drives evaporation and cloud formation for the entire globe. This visualization maps the global water cycle. Watch what happens when the evaporation arrows coming off the ocean are removed. The cycle breaks. Without this water feeding the atmosphere, global precipitation halts. Terrestrial lakes and rivers rapidly dry up. Ocean circulation functions as a global thermal conveyor belt. It absorbs the intense solar heat at the equator and distributes it toward the poles to balance the planet's temperature. Without water to store and circulate this energy, the planet loses its regulation. Equatorial regions scorch under unmitigated heat, while higher latitudes quickly plunge into a deep freeze. SASTER, intense. These extreme temperature differentials create violent atmospheric friction. Massive, continent-sized dust storms begin sweeping across the dry, rocky basins at terrifying speeds. The loss of the oceans permanently breaks the Earth's climate machine. Back on land, humanity is entirely stranded. Major global trade hubs from Shanghai to Rotterdam are suddenly useless installations, perched on the edges of dry, towering cliffs. Thousands of commercial vessels carrying our food, energy, and medicine drop straight onto the mud of the upper continental shelf. The global supply chain is severed instantly. For the millions living near former coastlines, survival immediately dictates a desperate pivot inland to secure whatever finite freshwater remains in underground aquifers. We might assume technology could save us, but our best contingency plans require the sea. Massive desalination plants are engineered for saltwater. Without it, these facilities are useless pieces of metal. The oceans serve as the vital operating system of our world. Without them, Earth becomes a planet we no longer recognize. But what if, instead of disappearing, the oceans suddenly rose?